Boom. There it is. Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Welcome,
Good
Stacy.
morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Gosh, you've been out doing aerial pictures of your kids' school and everything already, huh?
I know. Thank you to Jay and I Am Third Media. Yeah, early morning for us. A couple hundred kids out on a field doing. My kids go to church, so it was that and a drone thing. It was super cool. It was fun.
Awesome. Making
Yep.
it work, you know?
Making it work. Yep.
So we've got an amazing mindset conversation just in store for everybody really quick. But let's wrap our mindset around rates.
Yes.
Every week we just talk about it really
We
quick.
love it.
We're gonna talk about it again. Guess what? Rates are staying flat, which means I win again. Yes. I've got a
It's so
trend going
cute.
now. It's 3 in a
Yes.
row. They didn't go up, but they didn't go down. So 3 weeks in a
Yeah.
row. Rates are still amazing, people. Make it
You
happen.
know, when
Whether it's
rates start to go up, I'm gonna get the flats. I get to win every flat.
okay, deal. You know, here we are, the 16th of September. That's the deal. When rates start going up, the flat days you get. So
Okay.
rates are
I
still
still think they're
amazing.
gonna they're still gonna go down.
Don't be sitting on the sidelines. The sky is not falling. Rates are awesome, and go get out there and seize the day with those refinances, with those purchases. It's an amazing time to be borrowing money. And so, if you have any questions, let me know. We're here to help. But what we're also here to help with is bring awesome topics and strategies to you in the real estate world. And this is a strategy for life. It is controlling that mindset and dialing in that mindset. And what better guest to have on the show than Thach Nguyen? Thach, welcome to the show, brother.
What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Oh, I'm ready to go, man. You ready to go?
Let's get it, baby. Let's get it.
So, if you guys don't know Thach, number one, you need to go out to social media and connect with this guy. You can't be his friend on Facebook anymore because he's too damn popular. You got to go to his. Is that your business page or what page is that?
On which one?
On Facebook, because I'd love your banner
business
on.
page. The business page is my yeah. So I have a personal page and I have a business page, and we post a lot of the great content on the business page. Yeah.
Yeah. So Thach, you are. Um, there's no easy way to describe you, man, because you are everywhere. But what I've known for you, we've known each other for 7 years now,
Yep.
and we've always connected very highly on controlling the mindset. You turned me on to ask and it is given,
Yeah.
and Abraham and all that great stuff that comes with that. But let's talk mindset. Let's just jump right into it.
Yep.
Tell us who you
Dude,
are
I'm
and
gonna
why
ask you
mindset's
yeah.
so
I was
important.
gonna say, let me start with my question of who
Okay.
he is. So the question I was asking Keith pre-show, because I have not known that for 7 years, is are you more of a realtor or more of a mindset coach? So yeah, just give us your background and let us know
Good question.
what that is.
Good question. So for a lot of you that don't know, I came from Vietnam with my family in 1975. I was born in Vietnam in 1970. Our family evacuated from Vietnam in 1975.
Mm.
We had my mom, my dad, 4 brothers, and my sister was pregnant at the time. My mom. We had $100 in one suitcase when we fled Vietnam. We came here to the U.S. We lived in the shelter here in California, and we got shipped up to another shelter here in Tacoma, Washington. And then we grew up in an area called Rainier Valley over here in Seattle. And we started from the bottom. I went to school here, all the elementary school around Seattle. I graduated from Franklin High School. When I graduated in '88, I wasn't super sure what I wanted to do. So I decided to follow my 2 older brothers' footsteps to work in the aviation business, fixing airplane. So I graduated in '91 with an A&P mechanic to fix airplane. And I was not inspired, you guys. And here's my tip for you. Do the thing that inspires you. Don't do the thing that your parents want you to do. Okay? In the Asian culture, the parents always want the kid to do certain things because they have this prestige on a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse. And so I wasn't inspired being an A&P mechanic. I had my license and I decided to stay in Seattle. And in 1991, I graduated from college, and I was working at Safeway. I was working at a body shop, and I worked at a parking car at a Chinese restaurant in Chinatown. And I started real estate in 1991 when I was 21 years old. I passed my test, and I started with Windermere Real Estate over here in Seward Park. I was clueless. I was living with my mom and dad. I didn't know nothing about real estate. For the first 3 years, I sat around the office and I didn't do much. I was just waiting for people to call me. But at 21 years old, who the hell is going to call you to buy a house, right?
Yeah, they don't know you exist.
I don't even know I didn't exist, you know? And so, of course, my dad knew a few people. And so my Asian dad friend would buy a home for me and everything. And the worst part of it, you know, when they buy a home for you, they want you to buy them back a refrigerator, a clock, a freezer, a sofa. By the time you give everything back, you got no money anyway. So it's the same damn thing. And so anyway, in 1994, I met Mike Ferry. And Mike Ferry said to me, if you want a great real estate business, there's 3 things you got to remember. 1, you got to be active, not passive. Meaning you got to go out there and find the business versus waiting for the business to come to you. Number 2, he says, there's 2 type of group of people out there. There is people you know and people you don't know. And he said, which group is bigger? And I said, the group that you don't know. He said, great. Spend 70% of your time working that group. And then the other 30% of your time work with people you know, because if you work more people you know, right, you're going to grow your business exponentially. And I was like, okay, that sounds pretty simple to me. And the third thing he says that if you're going to be in the real estate business, spend 60% of the time taking listing, and then the other 40% of the time working with buyer. Because if you got a listing, your seller will be the best buyer. And if you did that, you can control your time better, and you're going to make a lot more money. So I said, okay, let me go get the listing, because the listing will be the fish that give me the buyer. People will call me out the sign and go, I want to buy your listing. I control the buyer. Then they're going to go shop around me. And then your seller become your buyer. Those are the best type of buyer, he said. And so I said, great. And then I started my career in 94. I was basically 24 years old. And I started door knocking 5 days a week, 100 doors a day for 10 years straight. Every day in Seattle, folks. The rain, the snow, the sun, you name it. I knocked every day, 5 days a week, 100 doors a day for 10 years straight. And my first year I did 10 deals, and then the second year I did 30, 20 deals, third year, 30 deals, 40 deals, 50 deals. I want you to understand something. In 2005, when you could do 15 to 20 listings a month, that's like somebody doing 300 deals today. But the cool thing is I had me, my wife, and 1 assistant because I could be a listing agent. And so that's how I started. And I made a lot of money in real estate. But the pivot point for me, everybody, is when I met Saul, the broker of my John Australia company. He said, you can be rich by selling real estate. Rich is trading your time to make money. The more money you make, the more time you got to trade. That means you're taking away from your personal time, your kids' time, your soccer time, your fitness time, your meditation time. What you want to do, my friend, is make money through real estate, pull the money off the table, park it in real estate, own real estate, rent it out. And so one day you will be wealthy. And wealthy is trading your money back for time.
Yep.
So I was like, boom. And so I focused, you guys, where I use the real estate business as the vehicle to finance my lifestyle and to finance my investment. And so my number 1 goal was to sell a lot of real estate, listing home, selling, working with buyers, did all this every day for the reason and the why is to own real estate so have time in the future. Bang. And that was my goal. So fast forward today, Stacy, just so you know, today I am still a real estate agent. I work with a lot of people still, but today I don't focus too much energy. I used to do about 150, 170 deals a year. Today I do about probably 40, 50 deals a year, working with my friends only. Okay.
So I have one question based on your first part of the story. At what point did you say, I don't need a door knock 100 houses every day? Like, when was that? Was that 10 years?
Yep.
Like,
So
you still
basically
do
in 1994, when I met Mike Ferry as my coach, that's when I started door knocking in 1994.
He
That's
still
when you
door knocks
started.
today.
I still,
Oh, you still do it. I was
yeah.
gonna say, because at some point, most people I think would be like, I did 40 like I did 40 units. I don't need a door knock, and you kept going. So that's remarkable. So you still do it.
And the reason why,
Yeah.
is people ask me, why do you still do it? Because here's the thing. Just because you put a down payment on a rental house, you're lucky just to break even on the cash flow. But if you really want true cash flow, you got to get them paid off. So if a house is $3,000, you don't get $3,000 in rent, folks. You only get $3,000 when it's paid off.
Yeah.
My goal was at that time to have 10 houses free and clear by the time I was 45 years old when I started at 27. And so I had to make enough money, Stacey, to buy the property and to get it paid off by the time I was 45. So it wasn't about the number of units. If you're just a realtor only and you only focus on being a realtor and top agent, you can count your gross commission or you can count the number of units, but that don't mean jack crap, because until you can buy a property and pay it down and have cash flow, that's when you really have done the right thing.
Boom. There you go. So
today you do. So today you work with mainly friends and family, and what else? What you were? Sorry, I interrupted you. You were going to go on.
Today I still work at John L. Scott. Right, I still work with friends and family. Like Yen, shout out to Yen. She did help my good friend buy. Today, most of my clients, they want to buy a rental property. Okay, they look at me and they go, help me buy rental property. So a lot of my clients, I sell them. I'm like, I'm just ready to list like 2 houses here this week. But a lot of my buyers today are people who want to just buy rental because they go, Thach, I want to be like you. I don't buy rental. So my friend Randy, he lives in Mercer Island, and we sold him a rental house, right? And so I work with them. But then after my residential business, today I still cold call, door knock. Look, you guys see here a whole stack of list of all fixer upper around Seattle that I cold call, right? And I look for them, and then I find them, and if I like it, I buy it for myself. If I don't like it, then I ask the owner, it doesn't fit my need. Why don't I just list it for you and market it to see if anybody else wants it? So today I spend a lot of my time cold calling and door knocking, looking for a fixer so I can buy myself. And if it doesn't fit for me, I will list them, put them on the market for somebody else.
So let me kind of bring this back into a mindset thing. You found something that inspired you,
Yes.
but it doesn't sound like you got that much inspiration until Saul came along.
That's right.
And Matt came along.
That's right.
And so controlling that mindset, I think there's a lot of people out there just kind of afloat, my friend. I mean, so how do you dial that in? How do you train that to become real?
That's right. That's a good question. I'm going to put in this perspective, everybody. When you're really single-minded, when you're really clear and single-minded focus on what you're doing certain things for and what's the ultimate experience you want it for. Like, nobody want to make money for the money. Nobody want the house for the house. Nobody want, you know what I mean, the retirement for the retirement. We want it for some type of experience. Like, nobody want a beautiful home. They just want they want a good place to actually feel cozy and safe. Okay. Nobody want a lot of cash flow. What they want is they want freedom. They want time. They want to spend time with their kids, their family. So most of the time people, they do goal setting. They go, I want to have $1 million. I want to make $1 million. I want to be number one. But then I always ask the people, Keith, what's important about that? What would that do for you ultimately? What would that do for you ultimately? What would that do for you ultimately? When I dig deep, then they say, ultimately why I want to make a lot of money because I want to spend time with my kids.
Yep.
And what does that mean? To them, it mean family. It mean love. It mean connection. I always tell a person, if that's your true why, then when you write your goal, you go, I want to make $1 million. And the reason why is so I can feel love, I can feel connected with my family, and I can go travel with them and experience the world. So the focus wouldn't be on the money, the focus on thinking about the family and spending the time, because that is what juices you to get up in the morning. If you just focus on the experience, you will actually automatically achieve your physical goal. Does that make sense? So
Absolutely.
I put in this perspective. My dad called me one day, Stacy says, can you come to the house? I want to tell you something, but come alone. Don't bring your wife. I get to the house. I walk upstairs, and my mom and dad were sitting on the sofa, and they had a really sad face. And I was like, what's wrong with you guys? What's going on? And they gave me a piece of paper, and they said, here, read it. And I read it, and it said blah, 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 and it says cancer. In that moment, I said to my dad, we're going to do what it takes to actually help you beat cancer. Whatever amount of money we need, we're going to do it. Don't worry about it. In those moments, you realize what's important. It ain't all the money you made. It ain't the fat houses. It ain't the nice car you drive. It ain't none of that crap. In that moment, it was like this. We are going to go out there and we're going to beat this together, Pop. And then I'm going to go to work and I'm going to make whatever amount of money we need to make to actually save you. We will climb mountain when we're clear on what it is that we want to do a thing for. We will swim across the ocean to do what a thing to do, what you call it. So I went out there and I worked and I made the money and I gave my dad all the treatment he can for a year until he died.
I'm so sorry. It hits me so close because I had a similar experience with my parents. But yeah, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah. So the moral of that whole thing, Keith, is that mindset to me is when you guys are clear on what it is you want and why is that important to you, what would that do for you, right? For me, I was willing to empty out my account, do what it takes to save my dad. So to me, I don't think mindset is that difficult, everybody. I just nobody slow down to really figure out what's important to them, especially with COVID. Everybody's dying every day these days. So think about what's important to you and then focus on that experience you want. And when you focus on that experience, you would do what it takes to have that experience.
Yeah, dude, I'm right there with you. Didn't know we were going there this morning, but yeah, the why, it's quite powerful.
And it's beyond everybody. When people say the why, I want to make $1 million so I can actually have, so my kids don't ever have to suffer. That's it ain't deep enough. Why is that important? What is that important? What would that do for you? What would that do for you? At the end of the day, what we want is just experience.
Yeah, it's something that I looked at when I pulled up my goals from last year. I said I wanted to be at Hunter's, every single one of Hunter's soccer games, and I've been there this year. But I always put like family time on my goal list, and that was too ambiguous. It was like I want to be at these soccer games, and it's just and then I said, why was that important? Because I wanted him to feel supported. I wanted him to feel powerful that his parents are there and all that. And so, yeah, it's a super awesome thing.
You want to feel love.
Let's say that one more time.
I said you want him to feel love, and you want to feel love.
Right.
But here's the here's the magic, guys and gals. You don't need $1 million for that.
True.
We don't need to be number one. We just need to work smart, right? And invest your money at the right spot so you can have more of that. When Saul said to me, you want to set yourself up, my friend, when you get into your 40s, when you have kids, you want to have time and to go and, encourage your kids, support your kid through school, through sport, go to the game. That's true wealth. And so for me, what got me motivated was work equals rental. Rental equals freedom, option, and choice. And that was my why. And when my dad was dying, that clarified freedom, option, choice, even at a deeper level, because we had to take him a lot of different places, and his insurance did not cover any of the chemo. And the chemo bag you got was this big, and it's $10,000. Wow! Thank God I was making money.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Keith and I were kind of chatting, and I'm curious about your thoughts on this, on abundance, thinking with abundance. That's my whole approach to my life, and in business and our team, and it's just a constant theme within me. So just curious, like what books you've read or what you think about it, things like that.
Yes. To me,
Maybe you've written a book. I don't
yeah,
know.
Maybe you've written a book.
yeah. Actually, you know, it's interesting. My whole entire life right now is a book. That's why on social media, I only share, if you ever notice, what I do, what I think about, thoughts, experience. That's what I share on Instagram. So that's why it's so different from all the other Instagrammer out there, right? But yes, this world is an abundance world. There's no need for people to fight. There's plenty of resources out there. There's plenty of air out there. There's plenty of money out there. There's no reason. The moment that we start thinking that there is lack, then we will start to attract more of those experiences to see that we are right. There is a lack of leads, lack of abundance. I am a big believer. There is plenty of air out there. There's no reason nobody fight for air. You ever notice that, right? And I believe the same thing about leads, right? Some leads are actually more aligned for us. Some leads are more aligned for others. I had an opportunity the other day, and I had these people call me, and they wanted to sell their property. And I went and met with them, and I told them their property was worth $1 million for this ugly ass house. We had mutual friends and everything. They were really happy. They were like excited on listing the property with me. 24 hours later, they called back and said, you know what? We decided to go with somebody else, but thanks for your time. They hung up on me. Like, no, like, wasn't even let down nicely. You know what I mean? No explanation. And my ego was hurt. But I said to myself, there's probably a deeper and bigger reason why I didn't get that deal. We just don't know what it is. So I got to remember that this big old thing called the universe is lining up. For me, I'm always looking for the right client to work with, the perfect client, the easygoing client, the low maintenance client. Maybe they're more high maintenance than I don't realize. And so I have to remind myself there's abundance of perfect low hanging fruit for me. I just got to remember it's okay. Let's keep it moving. So my mindset around abundance, there is just money and leads, you guys, is just like air. There's plenty of them out there. Don't start thinking there's a lack of leads and money, because the moment you start focusing on that, you're going to attract more of those experiences. You're going to see more of that. You're on mute, Keith.
Thanks. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, Yan threw in there Abraham Hicks. Yeah. So the law of attraction is ever present, so it can go both ways. But so tell us, one second.
Stacy, I got to mute.
Stacy's echoing. Yeah, we got that muted. So we've pivoted now to real estate, and tell us about Springboard to Wealth.
Yep. So about the end of 2020, I had a lot of friends that came to me and says, I love how you are teaching this BRRRR model. You guys saw this BRRRR?
Yeah, I love the shirt.
BRRRR stands for buy it as a fixer, rehab it, rent it out, then refi it, put it into a permanent financing loan, and then repeat that process. And so that's the way how I buy rental property today. There's two ways to buy rental property. There is what I call traditional way. You buy it already done, turnkey, ready to go. Or you buy a property that actually needs some work. Like the property I sold my friend Randy that Yin did, the property need work. We sold it for $500,000. It's going to cost him about $100,000 to rehab it. So he'd be all in for $600,000. But when he's done, it's worth $700,000. So what we call that sweat equity. He just made an extra $100,000 from sweat equity. And so today I teach people that. And next thing I knew, I taught one person how to do this. I taught two people how to do this. And since the end of December until now, which is only about, it's not even been a year yet, I have probably over 1,000 students right now all across America that I teach people how to find homes that need a little bit of work, rehab it, and then keep them as rental property. And then basically, turn into rental. And as I've been sharing this on Instagram and everything, and all of a sudden, these producing company out of Hollywood, right, called me like, we love what you're doing. Would you focus on doing a reality TV show teaching people how to burr across America? And so right now, tentatively, the title of the show is The Win-Win. My last name is, is spelled Ngyn. So the win-win, W-I-N, and then underneath it, it'd be burn across America. And the show would basically taking 4 or 5 students in one season and helping them find the right house, helping them rehab it and turn it into a rental, and then watch them go through one season, 5 or 6 students. And so I was like, hey, that's what I'm already doing. And that's how Springboard came to life. And today, what I just teach people how to do is this right here. This is it right, like this. I teach them ultimately the end game is to own rental property. Then I teach them how to make money from selling real estate, right? Or finding deals, right? That they can flip. Teach them what to say to people, right? Teach them how to evaluate. And if they're a realtor, a wholesaler, or an investor, they can all learn how to this. And ultimately, at the end of this roadmap to wealth is owning rental property. And that's
the only thing I see missing in that, Thach, is mortgage professionals. We could be over there with the realtors.
Of course, bro.
I mean, anybody that's making income. Anybody that's making income.
Well, Yin right now is part of my program, and I'm teaching her and her team how to actually find deals, right? Because Yin's already doing it herself, right? But here's what's interesting, everybody. Everybody's always into the instant gratification. They buy home and they fix them, flip them.
Right.
Nobody want to practice, Stacey, what I call delayed gratification, called owning rental property. It takes so long, that. It takes so long, that. But here's the thing. If you don't do it, you're never going to get it anyway. What if you just make money doing loan or being a realtor and then peel some of that money, just park it, let a tenant pay for it, and just let it ride? And when that property go up in value, you can even get HELOCs on them and start buying other property with that.
Bingo. Yeah, I saw your Instagram feed this morning.
Right?
It's brilliant. It's what I try to talk to all my folks about when they go to sell their property. They call me up like, hey, Keith, you got the bridge loan to get me out of this house into the next house. I'm like, why are you getting rid of this house?
That's right. About this property station, about this fixer up in the area called Beacon Hill for $360,000, and it cost $80,000 to rehab it. So I'm all in for $440,000. When I got done with it, it got appraised for $700,000, right? But what happened was the owner called me and said, hey, you want to buy this house? I need to close in a week. So the house I live in that I built a few years ago for $1 million in Mercer Island is worth $3 million. It's free and clear. So I have a HELOC on it. So I took my HELOC money, which is free anyway because the appreciation grew. I took the $360,000 I paid cash for the house for this fixer. Then I took another $80,000 and I rehabbed it. So by the time I got done, I went and got a permanent loan and I did a new loan for $440,000, which is what I got the house for, right? And the rehab, I got a new loan for $440,000. Now I owe the bank $440,000, but they gave me my $440,000 back and I put it back into my HELOC on my house. So I got that rental house for free with $260,000 worth of equity, and I get $12,000 a year in cash flow. And that money I bought the house from was free because it came from my appreciation of my house I live in.
There it was.
That's how you buy a property for free, everybody.
That's great. I was just going to ask, what's the name? So what is the name of that part of your business again?
It's called Springboard to Wealth.
Springboard to Wealth. So people can find that on they'll just
the easiest way to do it, if they go to my Instagram account, if you guys go to my Instagram account, in my bio, you'll see a link to my company. There you go, just right there.
This one, right there.
They have a link in the bottom that says Beacon /Thach Nguyen. That's my bio. You click on that, you will see my real estate coaching program. You'll see I partner with the Seattle Sound. I'm building soccer field right now in Seattle for underprivileged kids in Seattle.
Awesome.
So just things I'm doing relatively real time is in there.
Wow. Man, well, I can't believe we're already to a half an hour, but when I took that snippet, so I had this for the show, you're over 500,000 now.
Yeah, dude.
Great, dude.
we broke, we have 1.1 million now on TikTok now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Can you believe it? This 51-year-old guy is actually a social media influencer. Like, I'm over that shit. You know what I mean?
well, it's so awesome. My assistant made me start doing TikTok, so I got into TikTok a year ago, and I feel like the old person on there. So
Right?
I love
You know what I'm
other
saying?
people like doing, yeah. But
Any
I'm not an influencer. I have no followers, so good on you for that.
anybody over 45 is too old for TikTok. But I said, you know what? Screw it. I don't care. I dance like a dumbass, right? If you have good content and people love it.
Oh, it's content is king. I mean, of all the influences I see on social media, I love yours the most because to me it's worth something. So, but yeah, well, any closing thoughts before we shut this down? I mean, we could go for hours,
Yeah.
but we do have to respect the time, your time, and
Here's my closing thoughts for everybody. Warren Buffett. I am a shareholder of Warren Buffett's company, and at his annual shareholder meeting, he says, if you don't find a way to make money when you're asleep, you're gonna work until you die. Okay.
Powerful words. Powerful words.
So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. More information. Just go to my Instagram. I post there every single day. Information about real estate investing. And if you have any questions, DM me. I'm happy to help in any way possible, everybody.
There you go. Well, thank you very much, Thach. We will catch you later. And have a great day, man. Take care.
All right, have an awesome day. Peace out.
Bye. Well, there you have it. Mindset is super key. But
Yeah.
great guy. I love that guy. Anyway.
Yeah, it's so great. And there's a couple people in the chat. Some people want to connect with them. So very cool.
Right on. Well, join us next week, next Thursday, same time, same place, 10 a.m. Thursday morning for Real Estate Now. And until next week, we will see you guys later. Have a good one.